Best in life.
To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to play the Sega Master System on the weekends. So, the NES had all those classic Disney Capcom games, which everybody talks about, but it seems nobody wants to talk about the Virgin Disney games, especially the ones that appeared on the Master System. So today, we're going to look at The Lion King, a game I fondly remember from my childhood. Now, the movie's a bit of a debate with me. I'm one of those people who always, if we talk about it, I'm going to bring up the whole plagiarism accusations, because, well, they're really not accusations. I'm also a fan of, if you're going to steal, own it. That's really my issue. It isn't that they took this other idea, it's that nobody wants to admit to it. And even if you don't think there's all this plagiarism stuff going on between The Lion King and Kimba the White Lion, keep in mind there's also a lot of similarities with another movie called The Land Before Time, including the use of the phrase the circle of life, which is pretty common, and of course the deceased parent appearing in the clouds to help the protagonist out. So my girlfriend's a huge fan of this movie, right? So whenever it comes up, I just kind of play it off like, oh, you mean that movie Disney stole? But I'm going to admit something to you. Just come here, just a little bit closer. I friggin' love this movie because it's an excellent film. I mean, why would I not? But I can never let my girlfriend find out about that. Don't worry, she doesn't watch my YouTube, so it's just between us. Right from the start, this game gets it right with that amazing title screen and that great 8-bit rendition of Elton John's The Circle of Life. It just sets up the mood. And once the game kicks in, you hit that first level. It's just such a gorgeous color palette. It really does look like early morning in a jungle. There's just one problem. This level actually appears in the game twice. In fact, this is sort of a reoccurring theme we're going to see in this game, is that a lot of things are repeated. It's about the only thing it has against it, but we'll get to that. Granted, the level's not 100% the same. I mean, the layout's different and there's these falling boulders, but it looks the same. It uses the same soundtrack. It's a little bit distracting. One of the things I can really appreciate about this game is how the gameplay kind of shifts gears about halfway through the game. The early stages are more of a traditional platformer with the young Simba, and one of the things he can't do is just outright fight the majority of his opponents. A lot of times you have to roar to flip them over or stop them, or in the case of these boss battles with the hyenas, you have to wait for them to get tired before you can strike. But then you get to the second half of the game where you're playing as adult Simba, and it's more action-oriented, and you can go right in for the kill. Another thing this game does right is, well, the levels, the set design. It's great. They're all taken from the movies and they're all fantastic. So many of the early stages of the game when you're playing as young Simba are just a joy to play. It's just so much fun. I mean, jumping off the trees, swinging off the hippo's tails. It's just good old-fashioned fun. Even a stage that's supposed to be spooky, like the elephant graveyard, and you're running up and down the bones of these elephants, is just an absolute wondrous joy to play. I mean, you just can't get enough of this game. And that's not all. I mean, the game also has these great bonus levels where you play as Pumbaa. Throughout these levels, you'll find a sort of a diamond icon. You collect that, and that gives you access to the bonus stage once you've completed the main level. Here you take control of Pumbaa, as I stated before. You have to try and eat these pellets, but not the spiders, which seems a bit odd since Timon and Pumbaa were known for eating bugs, but I guess here you don't. For every 10 pellets you get, you earn yourself an extra life, and you're going to need them because this version of the game doesn't have any continues. Yeah, you heard me correctly, there's no continues in this game. Now I had this on the Game Gear as a child, and that version did have continues. I even went through the manual to confirm it. There was an icon you picked up, it was like a Simba's head, and that was an extra continue. Well, I don't have the manual for the Master System version, but I never once found that emblem in the game. It doesn't really hurt the game any though, it's a fairly easy title, but if you watch a full playthrough of me while I'm playing this, I get pretty antsy towards the end when I only have one life, and I stop kind of being relaxed and start trying to plow through the game just so I can get footage of me beating. It's sort of a funny thing. I mean, when I was a kid, the Stampede level gave me such problems. I was actually having anxiety whenever I get to this point in this game. Like, it all rides on this. If I can beat this stage, I'm going to beat the game, but I might get a game over here. But as an adult, I find it to be one of the easier stages in the game. I mean, you just gotta take your time and hope you don't die like I just did. It's really not that difficult, though. The opposite also holds true, though. The Hakuna Matata, did I say that right? I can never figure this out. This is the stage a lot of people, when I talk about this game, like, oh, I love that stage. It was just so much fun sliding up and down the waterfalls. And as a kid, I agreed. I loved it so much. I absolutely adored this level. But as an adult, I actually found it kind of annoying and probably spent more time in this level than I really needed to. Even the gorilla boss, who's not too difficult, gave me a lot more problems than he really should have. Wait, did I say gorilla? I'm pretty sure he's actually supposed to be an orangutan. You know, like King Louie. You fight this guy twice. I mean, you already saw it earlier as the adult Simba, and you fight him here as the child Simba. I don't know. I had problems with him this time. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because I hadn't played the game in, 15 plus years. I'm not really sure. But I didn't have much fun playing this stage now. If it sounds like I'm complaining, I swear I'm really not. This is just one of those games. It's an absolute pleasure to play this game. And I can't stress that enough. You have to play it to really experience it. As I mentioned before, the game tends to recycle things, the soundtrack being the biggest concern. I mean, you've got 2 levels that use the Circle of Life. I Just Can't Wait to Be King is only in 1. You've got the music in the Stampede level, which is its own thing. You've got Hakuna Matata. I can't say that name, but that's 1, but that's 5 of your levels. There's 10 stages in the game. The remaining 5 all use Be Prepared. It's not hurting the game any per se, it's just kind of strange, though it does work quite well to set the tone of each of the levels. But what this actually equates to is that all the stages where you play as adult Simba use this one track. So you're going to have to get used to it. Like I said, it's sort of a nitpicky thing, but it's okay. To be fair, all the stages with adult Simba are probably the most stunning ones to look at in the game. I particularly love the color palette and the hyenas layers, and I love how you can look up and see Pride Rock in the background like, there's your goal, you're almost there, man. Go for it. I mean, when all's said and done, you really need this song here, though, and all the adult Simba stages. It gives a sense of urgency and importance to the whole game. It just sets the mood so well. I'm just letting you know that it kind of lacks variety in the music department, but what's there is fantastic. Now, I'm not complaining, but Scar has got to be one of the easiest bosses in a video game that I've ever played. All you have to do is knock him off Pride Rock. He doesn't have a health bar or anything like that, which means if you set things up from the start, you can get him in one hit and win. And actually, I've had times where I've gone over the cliff with him, and it's still counted as a victory for me. Despite how easy it is, though, you beat the game, he goes off the cliff, and you get that picture of Nala and Simba reunited in that fantastic 8-bit rendition of Can You Feel the Love Tonight, and you just feel satisfied. Yeah, game, I do feel it tonight. I truly do. Lion King for the Sega Master System, and as you can see, this game is it's an absolute delight to play, and there's nothing about it not to like. Yeah, there's a whole lack of continues, but the whole game is just so painfully easy that it doesn't hurt it. It doesn't matter. So go find yourself a copy. Be it on the Master System, the Game Gear, through emulation, however you choose. Get a copy, go save your kingdom, and I'll see you next time.